I'm just trying to get cancelled.
Yeah.
I'm 1,000 ways to get cancelled.
Yeah.
That's the new segment.
1,000 ways to get
1,000 ways to get cancelled.
Welcome to the GenC podcast. I am one of your hosts, JP Jackson. To my far right is the host with the most.
Yeah.
Rizaan Rose.
You flipped it on me.
You did it.
You flipped it on me.
You did
Can
it.
I just say we color coordinating? Low-key.
Guess
I'm
who's
back.
back? Back again.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charcoal's back.
Charcoal. Away.
Smoky.
To the audio listeners, I actually didn't check in on you on the last episode.
Yeah,
I do
no,
apologize.
That's true.
Thank you for
I'm
being there on Spotify and Apple. Sponsored by SHURE.
Yeah. And YouTube.
My favorite
And
audio
Planetworld.
listener. And Planetworld, indeed.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
favorite audio listener.
Ay.
Sure.
How are you doing, Lyle?
No, but right, bro. I'm
Yeah.
good. Like it's becoming winter. I'm loving that. Like I love winter. I don't know about you guys. Like I know you more of a summer guy.
I'm a summer guy. Me.
Okay. Listen, we're going to talk about that because that's a good conversation. But first, in the middle today, someone is actually dressed for the winter occasion. Jersey. Kiva. Farah.
Oh.
Welcome.
And middle name?
Yo, no. Like and subscribe for more.
Welcome, Kiva.
Welcome. Yo, she has 2 glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we take care of you here in the suburbs.
We do.
Hails from the streets. We're not giving people's address.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
don't. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. I know you're waiting. Stop it. So, Kiva, we like to give the listeners an opportunity to ask them. No, that's not how it goes.
Yeah, no. Like take two.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, JP.
He's realizing how hard your job is.
For the audio, for the listeners at home, who is Kiva? For 10 marks, who is Kiva? Yeah, that's you.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Who is Kiva? What specifically would you like to know?
The balls in your court. People often think that we're asking like, what do you do for work? No.
No.
Like, what do you want us to know?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big question, guys. Right now, Kiva is aspiring to be a ceramicist, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I host.
Sorry, Rizaan, I'm just what's the shape that you are showing there?
Yo.
It's just
What's the one that you blow? Is that glass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, tell us more. Sorry, ceramicist.
Ceramicist. I'm an event organizer. I organize Thirdhousepoetry,
Shout out.
which is how me and Rizaan know each other. I've started a new event as well called Anecdotes.
Okay.
I'm originally from Joburg. I moved to Cape Town 4 years ago. And I'm a creative spirit. That's how I would describe myself.
Nice.
So now we can ask this question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a winter person? So I don't know. I don't actually know. I think I don't care.
So you
Yeah.
just like adapt to whatever's.
I just don't like the wind.
Oh.
So like,
but
if
you
you-
live. Oh.
I'm definitely a summer person.
Yeah.
where do I live? What?
No. Carry on. This is your feelings, Rizaan.
No, he's gonna say you live in Cape Town. Like Cape
Yeah,
Town's
yeah,
known
yeah.
No,
for-
so like there's more windy places like Gordons Bay and Strand or like Blouberg.
Strand.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
hectic.
So I'm very grateful for where I
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the wind isn't that bad, but
Yeah.
like that's the only
No,
wind.
no, face.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the heat. I'm fine with the cold.
Okay.
I just don't like wind.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wind is rough.
wind is not sexy. Shout out Port Elizabeth. So okay, so you've been in Cape Town 4 years, but let's actually go back to life in Johannesburg.
Right.
What is it like? Yeah, tell us about your household environment, like how many siblings you had, that type of thing. Yeah.
Damn. I have 2 younger brothers. I think I grew up in a very healthy home with very loving parents. I'm very close to my mom, specifically. Joburg was okay. There was definitely a reason why I left, and no hate to Joburg.
Yes.
I love Joburg, but it wasn't for me, if I can put it that way. I'm very glad to be in Cape Town because I'm very much like a nature girl at heart. I love being close to the ocean and seeing the mountains and being able to like embrace the nature space. It's very important to me. So yeah, I'm very grateful to be here. I'm loving Cape Town for sure.
The ocean is such a big dub.
Yeah. But are they always going to say that that's what you're relying on to make your place great?
No, man.
We came for the ocean, but we're paying for the mountain.
Yeah.
The cost of your house, the cost of rent, the cost of an Airbnb, you're paying for that view, man. I've like for my job, I get to go to Johannesburg for like a week.
Oh, flicks.
And so
Okay,
Paid
sorry. Go.
what did you say?
Paid trip.
Yeah.
So
Subsistence allowance.
and JP, get it together.
Fringe benefits.
We are behaving. That's fine.
Yeah. So I got an opportunity to go to Johannesburg for just a week.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying this with full ignorance.
Yeah.
I feel the difference is that Joburg is Cape Town, but faster. And I'm just trying to slow down.
So it's also not for you. Is that what you're saying?
Definitely not,
So, like genuinely, if I had to move to Johannesburg, I'd move. I'd get used to it. But like honestly, the big difference is that Cape Town is slower.
Yeah.
People often speak about that's from there, like people in Cape Town are mean and Joburg people are nicer. Is
I
that
never
something
got
that's true?
No, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't. And I think what Joburg has going for it is that it's got a lot of subculture, which is really cool. And I really appreciate that. Like there was so much going on in terms of music, for example. And whereas Cape Town is very homogenous, like everyone's kind of striving to be the same.
No.
Like I won't fully disagree with that because I feel like Cape Town's very cliquey. So it's like kind of
Cape Town has a shadow for sure. And there is that like all the things that they say, like that pretentiousness and that you have to, there's hurdles to overcome when you move here that are very real. Like breaking the social scene was not easy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Tell us more. Tell us more. What are the hurdles?
Cape Town has a shadow is a bar. Like I'm sorry, keep going. We're not taking offense.
What were the hurdles?
Well, I moved to Cape Town for 2 years originally, and I couldn't break the social scene. I felt very isolated, and it was very difficult. And then I went back to Joburg because I was struggling so much. And somehow, like very luckily, when I came back to Cape Town, I just immediately connected with someone, and she was so amazing, such a vibrant personality, and like very generously just took me on and introduced me to the music scene, which ended up being the scene that I broke into and where I met all my friends. And yeah, you kind of need that person who's going to like hold your hand and bring you into Cape Town. And it's really an act of like love and generosity when somebody does that. And I'm so grateful because once Cape Town opens up to you, it is this incredible experience. And there's so much to love about it, but it's like any city or place, like everything has its shadow, you know? So I'm still navigating that. And I think has inspired is the reason why I host these events where I'm really trying to create spaces where people can connect. Like you can arrive as a stranger and by the end of the event, you know someone or you've had a meaningful conversation. Yeah. Like that's important to me because that's what I needed in certain moments, you know, when I first moved here. So that's what I think about sometimes.
So many things I want to respond to. I want to speak about Cape Town being homogenous. And actually as the Cape Townians in the room, what do you feel when you hear that? Like, what does that sound like to you?
So I think my interpretation thereof, it's just that we seem to have similar interests. And when we have like, if you, let's say Cape Town likes rugby, for example. So if you are not in the rugby scene, then all of a sudden you fit outside of that homogeneousness. That's my interpretation.
Yeah, there's almost this Twilight Zone experience as well, where you get into specific circles and you just never see or interact with people outside of those circles. Like, it's such a strange experience.
That's why I say cliquey. It's very like...
Yeah, but it's almost beyond cliquey. It's almost like it's trippy, you know?
Cultish.
Wow.
Nah, because when you said that now, I was thinking about, because I had a conversation with someone and I felt like very proud in the fact that I feel like Cape Town has a lot of subcultures. But now that hearing you say that, I'm like, no, we don't. No, we almost try and make copies of a place somewhere else.
Yeah.
We try and just like replicate a thing. Food Truck Valley.
Yeah.
Now we're doing like 5 of it.
Yeah.
You were talking about sports. The way we do sporting events, we try and copy the same thing the whole time. And I'm just like, yo, that's so true. That's actually so true. So coming to the event space, right? So what made you start Third House?
Third House, it was interesting. When I was in Joburg, I used to go to this open mic poetry event called Writer's Block, and it was one of...
One more time?
Writer's Block.
Okay. It sounds like you're saying Writer's Block.
No.
I got it.
Yeah. Sorry.
And it was really a cool thing for me because it was such a consistent thing. I'd always go to these events, and it was like this one consistent thing in my life. No matter what was happening, I had Writer's Block. And when I moved to Cape Town, it was like right after COVID. So there was just no poetry events at all. I really looked. I think now actually there probably were poetry events. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. Because I know things like Red Wheelbarrow has been going for a really long time. And yeah.
No idea what that is.
But I couldn't find anything. And I started Third House at the same time that I started like this goth event that I wanted to run, and I thought the goth event was going to be the thing, you know, and Writer's Block was just a passion project. It was just something that I really wanted for myself. I wanted to attend open mic poetry events and I didn't see any in the space. So I was like, okay, well, let me just create one. And Basilisk, which was the goth event, fizzled out very quickly, and Third House just exploded immediately. It was like a success. I remember by our second event, we couldn't fit everybody in the venue. We were at Cafe Ganesh and there were people like queued outside, and I was like, oh, wow. This is the thing. And it's the sort of incredible thing about Third House is I think it wanted to exist. And I have just been like in the very privileged position of like facilitating that process, because everything has fallen into place so beautifully with Writer's Block. It's been so easy. Like I often tell the anecdote of meeting Younger G, who is the host with the most at our poetry events. And him and his partner Jade were the first people at the first event that I ever hosted. They were there before me. You know what I mean? And he's become such an essential part of Third House poetry. And it's just been like that from the beginning. Everybody I needed to meet, I just met instantaneously, and everything was really easy, and it just came together really beautifully. And yeah, it's been such an honor and a privilege to be a part of it.
Why do you think it was hard to find those spaces initially? Do you think it's just because we didn't translate it online yet? To your point, you said there was a space where that poetry was done, but you never found it potentially online in search or in Google or whatever. Do you think it's a case of we're just not posting these things enough so that people can go to these places?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think people underestimate the power of advertising.
Yeah.
Like advertising works and it's affordable. Like Instagram advertising, people will often come to me and be like, you know, how do you do this? How do you create such a successful event? And I say it's really easy. Like advertise, create your poster, create a decent poster, and then just advertise on Instagram, you don't even have to pay that much.
Mm-hmm.
You pay like $150 and you have this whole new audience. And what was really cool about Third House is I think I advertised maybe for the first 3 events, and I've never advertised since because it's just, as soon as you have that audience established, then it like...
Yeah, because right now what happens is we will come to the show and then we'll record, or our friends will record us perform.
Yes.
And then we'll tag Third House. It's one of the things that gets still like you tag Third House. Because I remember also looking for just somewhere to perform or read poetry or even just listen to poetry. Because I wrote poetry like religiously since 2017.
Can I just say Rizaan is an incredible poet, like one of my favorite, and I miss him.
Does he so like contrast to the stance on the podcast? Because on the podcast, Rizaan is generally the one that takes a lot of the heat.
Oh yeah.
So we're giving the opportunity to say
the love.
So I
feel
invited
the
Kiva for a safe space.
Yeah.
No abuse. And so I was searching for a place to just receive poetry. Because I'm trying to think now, what was the goal? Because I found a place like in Kalk Bay, but it felt very like, sorry to say this is probably mad inappropriate, I do apologize in advance. Like very much like wives and tannies coming together and having like a book club.
Right.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
And then I saw someone's post. Like I saw like Third House, someone performing spoken word, and I was like, I have to go. And then we hear, and I'm going to tell you the story. So did I go with you?
I don't know if it was the first.
I think I went with Lucretia.
Yeah, I think that was the first.
And Tiffany, or both of them.
Yeah.
And I remember telling them, I'm going to flip a coin. If it's heads, I'm doing it.
Oh no, that was with me. Your first performance.
Yeah.
I forced you to flip the coin.
Was that your first ever performance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I forced you to flip.
Yeah. The first time I went, I performed.
Wow.
Oh, so that was our first time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first time I went,
I was there. I'm part of the origin story.
Hey.
Yeah. So
Book one.
And it was crazy is that like I wrote the poem that day.
Yeah.
That I performed. Yeah, I wrote it. It was Radioactive Decay. Yeah, and I think that like I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. The most amazing thing about the Third House experience is the community.
Yeah, definitely.
We've been accused of being cultivators of safe space. we
allegedly.
have been, allegedly.
Yeah.
We've been sort of labeled as people who try and cultivate safe spaces. And Third House does the exact same thing, but with a different vehicle. And I think I especially love the fact that your culture is welcome.
Yeah.
Your language is welcome. And I wanted to ask you, is that intentional? Is that something that you kind of just set out like, no, we want you and all that you are? Was that an intention? Or was it just like, I just want to hear poetry. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think there is an element of being intentional in the sense that, well, I think first of all, Third House presented itself and I saw what it was, what it wanted to be, and I sort of just honored that process. But I do think there is like an element of being multiculturally competent, if I can put it that way. Like you want to, I love that it's such a diverse space, and maybe that's because I'm from Joburg and there is so much more like inclusive, diverse spaces in Joburg that you don't get so much in Cape Town. And so I saw that that's what it was becoming, and I really wanted to honor that and respect that process. And like, I'm so happy for what it is, you know? And I think it's like an honest reflection of the demographics in our country as well, which is like really cool. But yeah, I have a lot of respect for the diverse element of Third House.
So you speak about Third House being its own being.
Yeah, it sounds like a
Honoring
person.
honoring that process. How have you kind of viewed that evolution? Because obviously you have spoken about it being the concept initially, and now it's running on its own, and you want to honor that process. What are you seeing that process to be that you are just, in your words, facilitating?
I think you bring your values. Like as the event organizer, I bring what I value, and I really value community, for example. And so I think it works as it is. I don't know how. Yeah, it's interesting.
Can I help you?
Yeah, wait, let me just try.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like overthinking now. I'm getting hot.
Yeah.
Let me take a breath. It works. Like what's happening at Third House works for sure. And the interesting thing about it is thriving, and I realized that there is this foundation upon which one could build something. I'm reluctant to mess with it too much because of what it is and because it's such a meaningful experience for so many people. I think, if you have something that works, you kind of just want to leave it. But I have been thinking about how to utilize the community in such ways to build upon it and build something from it. And I decided the thing to do is, it's a new idea that I have, but basically I'm collaborating with this guy named Gabriel, and we've started a project which the working title is Artists of Africa. And the idea is to create like high quality audio-visual footage of performance poetry, because you get so many incredible performance poets come into the space and it really blows your mind. That's the other thing, is I didn't realize how much talent is in this city. I mean, I started Third House a few months after moving here, and there's such a richness of talent and such incredible performance poets. So I want to be able to document that in a way that is like really meaningful, and then hopefully branch out and capture all the different artistic mediums. Because I think we have such an incredible city in terms of art and culture. Like there's so much here that you really want to highlight and platform and help promote,
Two things. Thing number one, it's so capitalist of us, like thinking about it. The whole idea of like us needing to improve something or evolve something. Like we just fall into that trap. I think it's one thing to like want something to work well.
Yeah.
But also just embrace the fact that when it does, it is acknowledged, it's lived there, it actually works well, it's doing what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's giving people the confidence to actually pursue their voice.
Yeah.
Giving people the platform to say they say. Second thing I wanted to say is that like I love that you spoke about performance poet. So I'm so far from my poetry these days, but I write poetry, and I sometimes write something and I'll be like, oh, this is something I can perform.
Yeah.
And there's something that's like, I'm gonna just read, or there's something I can just share. And it works dynamically across the board. So one of the poems I performed, you love this one, it's called 8 Stages.
Oh my gosh, I love this poem.
An elegy for ESCOM.
Like I want you to perform it on
I
this episode.
also want you to perform a poem.
Like
you should perform this
I don't know.
poem
It's
right now.
I didn't like speak about it earlier, but like that was the poem I wanted you to like.
I've also had this on my mind.
I
Literally.
wanted you to do it like on the show.
It's time. The audience needs to know.
Set the scene.
I'm with her, bro. Like
Set
don't
the
look at me
scene.
for help, bro. Like
You can stand up if you want to.
Wait. Sure, that's fine. We can get there. We can get there. It's not gonna go the way that you think, but like low. I wanted to ask, can you tell us about Anecdote?
Anecdote is a new event that I want to start. It's still very much in the experimental phase.
Okay.
The basic concept is that people come together. It's a much smaller group, very intimate. And we sit in a circle and you share anecdotes or personal stories from your life. So like journal entries. The idea is that it's personal. You're sharing something personal.
that's deep.
With the intention really to, first of all, I'm going to be super hippie about this, but like focus on opening the heart center, and also as a way of connecting with people, like what I was talking about earlier, this idea that you can arrive in this space as a stranger and not know anybody. And then by the end of the evening, you'll know something really personal about everyone in the space.
Mm-hmm.
And these can be used as points of conversation so that you can form like meaningful connections with people afterwards. I want more spaces like that in the city. I think it's so important. So this is but it's a work in progress. I'm still workshopping it.
Yeah. But it's also
But
the
that's the
foundation of that community that you were speaking of.
Yeah.
What you are now doing is creating a concept that will later create communities on their own. Because like you said, it is through that sharing that you start building a sort of connection with a person.
Yeah.
And then you can start building your own mini connections and make that a bit bigger. And I think it's also important to create those spaces. And I think that was leading to my capitalist question earlier. It was that Third House is beautiful as it is.
Definitely.
And it doesn't need to change.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think we to the point we need to make sure that we keep those spaces what it is.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
and instead of making it, create another one.
Yeah. That's what I was
more.
going to say. Yeah.
Create more of these spaces so that we can have communities build and people start feeling that connection again.
Definitely. And like branch out and try different things, different artistic pursuits. Like that's really what I'm on. I completely agree with you. It's like I see Third House and it's so perfect. And I'm so happy with it. And I just, it works. It's like one of these things I just want to. Yeah.
So in a way, we've gotten there a little bit. Some of the faces that I've seen at Third House have started their own thing. I think one is called Slam City.
Right.
By, sorry, I'm throwing your name away. I'm so sorry. I feel like nope, not going to try it.
Don't try it.
Yeah. Not going to try it. No. But she has a book out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rio's part of that. Rio does Slam City.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a spoken word event. And it's and so that type of, now we're getting into the subculture. So we're doing poetry, but we're doing poetry in different ways. And I think that would be really cool is that like you as the audience, you as the performer can sort of like put on these different hats and have these different experiences. But I do want to come back to anecdote quickly because you mentioned something that I, as a Chakrahan as well, I'm with it. I'm with it. And also earlier I was speaking about like pursuing this idea of health.
Yeah.
And I think that like your heart center or your energy centers in general is something that we now more than ever need to heal.
Definitely.
Because we've been systematically, what's the bigger word than that? But like we've really been dismantling our energy. A lot of us are burnt out. We don't know we don't even know what our voice is supposed to sound like. We are a mesh of coping mechanisms these days. And I think that like having a safe space, like a true safe space where you can really just like be vulnerable is very, very important. And I do hope it takes off.
Yeah, and this is what I've learned this with Third House as well. Like I've learned so much from facilitating these events where I realize I often say that performance poetry brings out the best of humanity. And the reason that I say that is because vulnerability and authenticity and honesty are celebrated as a form of courage.
Wow.
They're recognized as a form of courage. And there's this almost circular thing where you celebrate people being vulnerable and being authentic. And in turn, you're inspired by them. And you go home and you create something. You're productive. It's like there's this whole system that works to like reinforce our humanity and reinforce the best qualities of humanity that I find so amazing. And I think what I'm trying to recreate with Anecdote is a similar thing of like celebrating vulnerability and celebrating honesty. And that's why I want these to be personal stories as well. I want you to take that leap of faith and share something.
And sometimes it also allows you to be seen.
Definitely. Exactly.
Because sometimes you do write and you do have these ideas in your head that you don't necessarily think resonate with anybody else.
Yeah.
And actually just sharing that in a smaller setting helps sort of affirm that, okay, cool, this, you're allowed to feel that way.
Yeah, and
it's
let
not
other people feel the same way. Yeah, it's very powerful. Exactly. There's so many layers to it.
Yeah.
For sure.
In this instance, scaling doesn't necessarily mean Third House itself.
Yeah.
Scaling is creating more spaces.
Yeah.
Inspiring others.
That's
Inspiring. And I think that's the important bit, because they can always take inspiration from what Third House is doing.
Yeah.
And I think even in our daily lives, creating those spaces is also so vital.
I mean, you guys are doing it in your own way with this as well, you know.
Yeah.
It's exactly that thing.
We've been accused. Allegedly.
I want to say two things. Thing number one is...
Why is it always
it's always two things.
It's always two things.
No.
Allow me.
He's having fun.
What did he just do? I want to say that I sometimes do, this is a problem that I have. I'm guilty of going to Third House and I want to be good. You know, like I want to...
Oh, you mean like your performance? Or
Yeah. Or just like, like I want to be wowed.
Okay.
And then it always humbles you. Like, no, you came to feel, big man.
Oh, wait.
you came to feel, big man. And I like that. Like that has happened so many times. I'm like, oh.
But that's what it is for me. Like I told you, like that's why I don't want to go and record there.
Yeah, I don't want to work.
I don't want to work because like that's a place where I can like.
So the second thing I want,
that's so sweet.
the second thing I actually want to do, and this is something that in a way only you can answer, and that's sort of talking about the behind the scenes. What are some of the challenges, roadblocks, stumbling blocks that you have as an event manager? Because we've spoken to people about like this is in a way this is your entrepreneurial pursuit.
Yeah.
Successful in a different way. But yeah, what goes into being an event manager of this particular type?
I think I'm very lucky to work with poets because they really are the nicest people. They really are. Like poetry is such an amazing thing because it transcends race and gender and sexuality and religion. But fundamentally, poets themselves are very beautiful people. Like they really have a heart of gold. So I just want to say, I think I'm very lucky with the kind of people that I'm working with all the time. And also the fact that the people that I work with, like Justin Keep, who does the posters.
Yeah.
I met him at the poetry. He's a fantastic poet.
He's fire.
And the same with Younger G. Incredible poet, loves poetry. So I'm working with really incredible people. I really lucked out with Selective Live. Like hardcore. Mafiana, who runs Selective Live, is really like the nicest guy. And it's such an incredible space. And it just brings that thing. I think, poetry can be quite depressive and you want almost to have people involved or spaces involved that have that like jovial, lively energy to kind of balance out the scales a bit. So I'll say when I've tried to veer away, like if I've tried to host at another venue or maybe Younger's not available and I work with somebody else, like I've struggled a lot when I deviate from the thing that works. I would say one of the biggest struggles is venue spaces. Like there was a time when I wanted to host 2 open mics a month. And so I didn't want to do both at Selective Live. I wanted to like go to different suburbs so more people could access the space. But venues are just really, really expensive. Like open mic poetry doesn't make a lot of money, unfortunately. And like venue fees, like sound, all these things are really, really, they're huge hurdles to sort of try and overcome where you're like, okay, is there a way to do this and still walk away with a little bit of money? Like that's probably one of the harder things about it. And then, it's just about, you learn a lot working with people. I mean, being an event organizer, you work a lot with people. There's a lot of like interaction and, I've learned a lot. Like I've grown a lot in this space because I have people who communicate with me and I really appreciate that. I've not always been perfect. And then you deal with very difficult people sometimes as well. And you just have to try and learn to navigate those things because you also don't want to be burning bridges and like, it's hard. Like the social element of it is, but I have a lot of fun with that. I really enjoy it. But I mean, most of it's just very logical. It's like, get your poster, advertise, create a page, and have your values. Oh my gosh, I can't stress this enough. Like, what you bring, the intention you bring to the space, the values you bring to the space is what will determine the event ultimately. Like, and I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. Oof. Can I be spicy?
Tea time!
Can I be spicy?
Tea time!
I'm going to be spicy, but I've had the experience of maybe a poet coming to Third House and wanting to start their own events. And I'll be like, why? And not that they shouldn't. They absolutely should go ahead and do that. But I'm like, why? And I realize it's because they want to platform and promote their own work. And I think that's very different to wanting to establish a community.
Wow.
And you're going to have like a very different outcome.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what you're bringing, your intention will determine everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that, and I do think that is actually a very valid point.
Yeah.
Because if you are going in with a certain intention or a certain outcome, that is kind of the wrong way to go about it. You should go in with, this is what I want to establish, and how we're going to make sure that that gets seen is definitely a bit. Because whether if the event is successful or not, the intention was there. And I think that how you came up and showed up is also the important part.
And it's an interactive,
Go for it.
But it's like, it's an interactive thing as well. It's like with any artistic medium, you are interacting with the art.
Wow.
And it's like with the event, that's what I mean when I say I want to honor it. It's like, I want to be receptive and open to what it wants to be. So you bring your intention, but then you also have this interactive thing where you're also open and receptive and willing to let it become what it wants to be as well. It's this constant conversation. It's very, it's interesting.
I have a question and then I also have a statement. So my question is...
Two things.
I changed it up.
Two things.
And what you caught me. Damn. I changed it up and you caught me anyway. People are going to know. Rizaan, two things in a row. That's crazy. Damn. So the first aspect.
Okay.
The first thing is because in our space, we also very fortunate that we set out to establish a vehicle for other people to shine.
Yeah.
Other people to sort of like be inspired to have this sort of, to catalog all of that. And it's worked. But sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person that I never wanted to not work.
Yeah. No, this is super real. You get so emotionally invested in the outcome. Yeah.
So my question was, without like telling us the details, unless you want to share the details, what has been those moments where it just hasn't worked? Where it's just like, oh, this is just gone down the tubes.
I had a similar question.
Okay, damn.
Because like with what we do, and when people interact with the content, they can like comment like on our social media posts or
Never
on our
read
videos.
comments.
No, but like we can delete if it's like not in line with our values
Right.
and what we have. But like you as like hosting something that's an open mic, that
Right.
anyone
Live.
can just come
Yeah.
and say whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if someone says something like crazy, like have you ever had to like deal with that?
There's this element of unpredictability. I want to answer this in two.
Go for it. Yeah.
The first thing I want to say is like being emotionally invested in the outcome of an event is like super real. I'll have events where everything is perfect. It's like, it's the most incredible event and everything goes beautifully and the performers are incredible and everyone connects in such a meaningful way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
you're like, and then the next event is like just not that.
Yeah.
And you're like devastated. It's this like yin and yang that you just can't escape. It's like, I had someone ask me the other day, she was like, I'm very nervous. Can you just reassure me? And I said to her, it's such a beautiful, warm community. There is always that element of unpredictability. You have to like add that because you can't say how an event is going to go.
Yeah.
And it's been hard for me to also sort of detach myself enough to not be so devastated when it doesn't go like perfectly, you know. And then the second part of that question is like, what goes wrong? The open mic element of it. I think I have an attitude of like, everyone is welcome.
Yeah.
And you bring yourself as you are. And if you're not in a good space, that's how you're arriving. I still want to be able to embrace and accept you. And for the most part, people really behave themselves. There were 1 or 2 instances, like I had one event where someone got really drunk and then started heckling, which only ever happened one time, but was like such a surreal experience. Where I was like, not at the poetry event. What is going on right now? Like, and how do you deal with that person? You know, this is now my responsibility. I'm like, how do I deal with this person? It's such a, or like someone getting on stage, lying down on stage, and they're saying their poem and they're on the floor.
We were there. We were there. That
Oh,
night.
were you there?
Yeah.
I still remember that.
That was a great night.
You know, did you love it?
No. Literally after that night,
The conversation.
the rule changed.
Yeah.
One poem, 2 short ones. And you.
No, talking about that's the other thing is we've had poets come and they just talk and talk. And it's like we have a sign-up sheet where we allow 20 poets to perform. That's a lot of poetry.
That is a lot,
And people are sometimes devastated when they don't make the list. It's like, you know, you really want people to be mindful of time and you think that they would be.
Yeah.
And some people are just not. They just really love, I don't want to be spicy, but they do love the sound of their own voice a little bit. And, you know.
That was the same night.
No. I'm here for I'm here for Kiva not trying to be spicy.
Peace and love to the poetry community. I love you guys. But yeah, you just deal with it. I mean, it just happens. You have to accept it. I think for me, it's a process of like, I have to accept it within myself. I can't let it get to me so much because it is just the way things go. You know, life is about balance. You have the highs and lows, and like any sort of space is going to reflect that reality. That is how life is. And I think as long as I can embrace it and accept it and be cool with it, then we can navigate it. You know, when something goes wrong, I try and find ways to counteract that in the future. Yeah. Like we've had events where we'll have 100, like we had one event where we had 110 people arrive in Selective Live, and everyone was packed in like sardines, and it was insane. And so now I sell tickets on Quicket, and we cut it off at 90, and it's like, okay, cool, I can sort of manage the numbers a little bit. And I'm always like very mindful to remind the audience, please, one relatively long poem or 2 short ones, or things like that. You just find ways to work with it. Yeah.
You have something to say?
No.
Then firstly, congratulations. I'm very happy to hear that this little child that you've given birth to.
I'm a proud mother.
No, it sounds like it's really, really going well. I can't wait to go back.
We miss you.
Stop it.
A lot.
Comment below.
Rizaan is one of my favorite poets. Literally.
Must see if we can try make an event.
So,
is this where you read your poem?
No. Maybe. No. So we actually asked our viewers on social media.
I forgot about this.
It's been a while. So we asked them 1 or 2 questions before the recording. And so this question you asked today was, what's your favorite book quote or poetry verse? And so some of the responses, spicy.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. You are not here to find yourself, but to create the person you want to be, by Jim Rohn. That sounds very like self-helpy. But I like it.
I just want to say you turned on your poetry voice.
Did I?
Oh, yeah.
Earlier we were coming at the person for having a radio voice. Oh, I like this one. Everything in moderation, including moderation. I like that one. Ooh.
There were some nice ones,
Yeah, this one's a bar. To have something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's real.
I think I was also like, phew.
This, I guess, is just for the community. Dale what you must.
Old colored proverb.
Yeah, dale what you must. And then because Mickey is just one of our favorites,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, we have to
Shout out.
Mickey.
Yeah.
Shout out, Mickey.
So Mickey actually gave us like, I don't know if this is a hadith or it's a religious scripture. So it goes by Imam Ghazali. A true friend is one who mentions you in their prayers, remembers your good deeds and conceals your faults. Shout out to true friends.
Yeah.
Sure.
Did you not
That's
see?
kind of
Did you not
beautiful.
see Shauna's answer?
Let's see. Let's go. This is from a glorious philosopher.
Yeah.
Sir Lil Wayne. Rap is a poem to a beat. Oh, sorry. Rap is a poem to a beat. And a line that stuck with me is, real G's move in silence like lasagna. That's always the goat. That is why. Because it's not like, he's like a better rapper. Or he makes no. He said with his whole chest, Weezy F baby, and the F is for phenomenal. That's a baby, man. But he said it with his whole chest, and we love him for it.
Oh yeah. We do.
Can we go to the game on the bowl, please?
So there's a game we play on this show, infamous series of hypothetical questions,
Okay.
and it's a game we like to call Say My Now.
We actually need to wait.
We need to explain.
need to sorry, because this is such a treat for us right now.
Yeah.
So because like genuinely, in the colored community, we just say stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And so hopefully this is something that you'll start to say.
Yeah.
So whenever you're trying to tell a story and you want to say hypothetically,
Yeah.
just imagine.
Just
You
imagine.
go,
Yeah.
say manana,
Yeah.
and you tell the story.
Same on now.
Yeah.
Same on now.
Say manana, this had to happen. So this is what it's called.
Okay.
Say My Now, there was a G in lasagna.
The easy cheese lasagna. It's grated cheese.
Say My Now, you could travel either 100 years into the past or 100 years into the future. Which one are you choosing? Rizaan's not going to the past. There's no way he's going to the past.
He's not gonna let them catch him twice.
The Great Depression, big man. The Great Depression. Raw. I can't afford a house now. I'm not going to find a house there. Missing me, big man. Missing me.
But the future's unknown, bro.
Sure, but it's rather the devil of time, you know. Sure. Can it be any time in the past 100 years?
I
Because I'm 50 now,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I think so. What you?
I can go
you
back in time
50%
and tell
there.
my parents, don't. So sorry.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
not
that was
the
pretty
essence of the question.
I don't need this debit orders. I don't need this, bro. You have anxiety. And I might be autistic.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
getting out of hand, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Kiva,
getting
which
out
one
of
do you
hand.
choose?
I think the future.
Gang, I'll meet you there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
For no particular reason.
but it's
I
like,
don't know.
it's kind of
It would be
like the
interesting.
the hopefulness that it's gonna be better.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
like, it's
But no,
probably
I
not.
agree with you, Lau. I think that
Yeah.
if you had to choose, I would go there because I do think this is a possibility. Inkling that something might be better on that side than 100 years back. It's just because I want him to read.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
Here we go. Say me now, your voice changed every morning to a random accent.
That would be so well.
Which one would you hope for on a big presentation day or a big performance day? So like accent as in a particular person or particular culture.
Let's go with like either.
Both, either.
Mm.
Jamaican came to mind for me. I don't know. There's just something fun about a Jamaican accent. I
yeah.
love it.
It's true.
Caribbean,
Like,
yeah,
that's always good vibes.
Bomba clot.
Yeah.
Always good.
Especially for a big presentation. I love that.
Yeah.
Mm.
That would be fun.
I'm just deeping it.
Okay.
Hey, yo. Just speaking patois. That's these. That's these. like now that you mention it, like that Nigerian accent, Igbo, that's funny, but especially when you're angry about it.
Yeah.
That's like just like you come into the welcome. Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
saying that.
I'm gonna cut it out for your own good.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get cancelled.
Yeah.
I'm 1,000 ways to get cancelled.
Yeah.
That's the new segment.
1,000 ways to get
1,000 ways to get cancelled. But yeah, like a young Yoruba, a young Igbo, a young Nigerian accent will be fire. That will be gang. I mean, look, I am dark.
Yeah.
Presenting.
Yeah.
So
I think
possible.
I would go for a presentation in Australian accent.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I think if I'm doing so, it's gonna make it seem like I know what I'm talking about.
He's excited, man.
I would say British is more like Australians are so like for me like I don't know. Bro, like,
It's peppy. It's gonna be peppy.
It's gonna be peppy. Like I would, because British is like football, and if
Also,
like
why do you like doing this? Why? Like I'm talking specifically to you.
No, but like, just
Why
for
you-
his reason, man. Like, when I think of an Australian, I don't think of like a professional like business.
You don't think
I think
so?
of like Owens, maybe, bro. And like, g'day, mate.
But think of how funny that's gonna be, bro. Let's look at the shots over here, mate.
That's the thing.
Look at these shots.
Oh wait, but it's like me and you are not gonna be the crowd laughing, man. He's supposed to be like impressing people. Man.
Exactly. That's impressive that he's saying charts. To the Australian, don't not subscribe.
Sorry.
To the one
Australian,
Australian that
yeah.
immigrated, don't not
I'm
subscribe.
so sorry.
What's yours, Mr. Gatekeeping
No, I
answers?
don't have one. I don't know.
you said British.
British is a good one.
Yeah, but like,
No, but
for-
which-
if you want
which
to be,
one?
like,
Which one?
Which-
Yeah.
if you want to be like professional, I would
Scouser.
say like I don't know why, but like when someone
one.
has like that proper English, then
Yeah.
it's like you respect it. It's like weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Wait, I want to stay here just for like a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Because
Two things.
we did it like we guiltily did that now.
Yeah.
Where we just accepted that we want to sound proper. We want to sound professional. It's not our language, big man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why are we saying that this or that is proper?
Yeah.
Like, just let's just end up there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, it's good.
because even in English,
Yeah.
they speak an array of different ways.
Yeah.
And they've neologized
Yeah.
words
Mm,
to
yeah.
their heart's content.
Yeah.
We do that, which is not improper. No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Rizaan
Yeah.
for president.
Wait a minute. Get how you live.
Whoa, Rizaan for president. Yikes.
Are you gonna
That's
bless
a
us?
Must I try?
No, it's are we not gonna do it as an outro?
Okay. No. Then you guys do the
I
thing.
think we should
I'm
do it as an
sorry,
outro.
I'm
Yes.
See if I can do
So
this.
towards the end of the podcast, there's two things we like to do.
Okay.
One is promote Instagram handles, pages, anything that you want.
Right.
Because that's our only payment to you for coming out. And then the second thing is if you could give a message to your younger self,
Right.
what would it be? So selflessly do the first part too.
The pages, Third House Poetry at Third House Poetry on Instagram. We need to expand our platforms, but right now we're on Instagram.
And Facebook?
And Facebook, but I never really post on Facebook.
That's so real. Like for us
It's
as
there
well.
somewhere.
Like,
Obscurity on Facebook.
Meta.
Yeah.
And then anecdote with a K. And yeah, keep an eye out for Artists of Africa, which is the working title. So I don't actually know if we're going to, it might change. But like if anyone wants to sponsor that project, I think it's going to be so amazing.
Definitely.
Like, let me just be upfront about that. Yeah, that would be really cool. And then I think that's it in terms of projects that I'm working on. And then a message for my younger self.
A message to your younger self. Please.
Stop wasting so much time. You know, life is short. Like, get to it, you know? That's what I would say. I think just because it's my only regret. I feel
wasting
like I
time.
wasted a bit of time. Yeah.
It's the eyebrows for me.
Mm.
And also, don't be afraid of pain.
Mm.
Not to get deep, but like pain is a fantastic opportunity.
That's it.
Okay, a bar.
That's a bar. Speaking
Real
of bars,
G.
are you gonna
Yeah.
bless us with some bars or not? Like, how you feeling? Like, I know we're putting you on the spot.
No. Like, this is for Kiva, apparently.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Is the camera zooming in?
Okay.
Do you need 3 mics?
All eyes
Do
on
you want
me.
all 3?
Yeah.
No, I need to find
JP.
energy. This is a wild poem to perform, like
That's a liquor
with
poem.
stationariness.
Yeah.
Okay,
But you'll do your bit.
that's wild. Actually, like this is I'm inside the spot. Me and the spot are first cousins. Don't chill all the way out. Firstly, Kiva.
This is why JP doesn't come
JP
with.
needs a holiday.
Facts. The trials and trips. The trials and trips
His brain's like,
of parenthood.
yeah.
But yeah, before I do this, I just want to say thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so lovely.
Oh, nice.
I really appreciate it. And I'm also like so stoked for you guys and your success. This is amazing.
No, take it. Say thank you, Kiva.
He struggles.
JP's allergic to
Yeah,
compliments.
he really hates it.
He's getting hives. But no, like, yeah, really, really grateful for not just you coming out today, but just the fact that you decided to come back a second time to Cape Town and give us a chance. We're so grateful to have it. Because genuinely, if you didn't give us Third House, we would have still been on the First House, and now it's our own house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'd have been telling poems like angrily to ourselves. And you've given us a safe space, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that.
One of the things that I performed at Third House is this poem called 8 Stages, an elegy for ESCOM. I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't react. Let's see. Stage 1. And the tweet #can't-relate is carried by all the beauties and the birds living in the city of Cape Town's grid. This is the first divide. Chalked outlines of dead bodies are used to summon darkness like Ouija boards. Grim. Stage 2. The notification. An alert. The summoning of forbidden names in front of the mirror. I swear. Is it Voldemort? Nah. Candyman? Or was it Bloody Mary? I don't mean to break character. I can't seem to remember. Beetlejuice. Eskom your massa. I forgot to charge my phone. Stage 3. I'm going to be honest. I'm not familiar. Is this the one where they come for the light at the end of the tunnel? Or is this the one where all the traffic lights transform into 4-way stops? A faction of robotic life forms trying to claim the Allspark. Our leader is a Decepticon. Mr. President, please say something useful. Stage 4. And I promise you my mommy doesn't like this one. Everything feels rushed. It's as if time a man-made construct and we only exist for as long as the batteries last. The city of Cape Town people own timeshares in other time zones. Stage 5. I've committed to a hotspot. A smash and grab. A wonder bag. Prying outside and praying for UPS. As a millennial, the Gen in Gen Z stands for generators because the power is in your hands. I swear, stage 6. I saw a tweet that said they are coming for power couples. Oof. And here I thought they were trying to steal our chants like, Amandela once said, it always seems impossible until it's done. And with that, I give you stage 7, the dark ages. We can stand here and blame the coal, blame the strikes, blame the moon and all its light. This isn't Westeros. We shouldn't be gearing up for the longest night. Winter has come and gone and yet we still have load shedding. Stage 8. Check's notes. We are not doing that. I don't have the energy. Nobody does.
I mean, That is so good. That is so good. I love that part.
Please rate us on the audio platforms.
weird.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell if you want to see more. And we are out. Peace.